Hey, hey, hey,
I've
hey,
been here.
welcome back,
Been here.
everybody.
What you talking
Go.
about?
Uh, 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 uh.
Never get this together.
Y'all ready to do it? Y'all ready to move it?
I'm here to talk
Y'all
about
ready to
everything.
move it?
I'm here to talk about
Okay.
everything. It's
She's
comic books out
looking
here.
for me. We're looking for it.
Future for comic books is looking real good right now, people.
DC's looking. DC's looking real good. Gun, he saved the night. Gun, he saved the night. James
That
Gunn,
is yet to be determined. I like his
James
lineup
Gunn
though.
saved the night. James Gunn saved the night in time. I just had to get out of the way. Dang, Walker, man, what's good?
His lineup.
For 1 week.
Lineup is good. His concept is good. His pitch was good. I like his pitch. Straight to the point, went to everything. That's how you do it. It's just bow, get straight to it and everything. I liked it.
Bang, bang, boom. I like it.
Man did minimum to almost no talking about what's about to come out this year. 2023, he has nothing to do with it. He said as minimal, as least amount of words as possible. He gave the praise that he should be given, and he kept it moving. I like that. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. And he went straight into it. And he was clear, concise. That's what I like. That can't get any better than that.
You're real focused right now.
He can't. He rehearsed that. Somebody sat him down. Was like, "Yo, this
you see
how
where
we're
it was
gonna
cut
do it."
at. If you knew what you were doing, you can see like, oh shit, they cut right here. He started a new sentence. I love it. I don't love it. I like it. I can't love something until I see it on the screen already.
It's inspiring.
I love the idea. How about that? I love the idea.
Yeah, it's looking. It's good. It's a good future. Something to look forward to. Compared to before, where you didn't know what you were looking forward to. This one, you look forward to it. I like. He was clear in his direction and what they got. Look what he has for the future of DC and how he wants and how he make sure he said that film, TV, gaming, animation is all his. It's all of them. It's the DCU, and it's all him, and the Matt Reeves and the Todd Phillips and the Teen Titans Go and all of that other stuff is the Elseworld stuff. Like he's making everything clear and concise. I like it. Like everybody's like, okay.
It ain't got nothing to do with us. And at any moment, I'll cut it. If it ain't
he said, nah, forget cut it. He was like, it just ain't got nothing to do with me. This is not part of me. It's a DC character, yes, but it's not part of me. We're not giving out licensing deals and everything to everybody else out there. No. Any old person ain't gonna get it anymore. No. We're not giving keys. Nobody gets the keys to the vault. I got the keys down. Locked down. Let's go. This is what we're doing.
So you ready to go over it, man?
Heck yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right, first project. Well, first of all, just like you said, he started off the rip. He started off the rip talking about how Shazam is so far out. It could be. He said it could be part of it, but it's like it's out there. He's already doing his own thing. He pretty much said, if I need to, I'll bring him in. If I don't, I won't. I don't care. He got one movie. He's out anyway. It's over. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Then he went on to the Flash. He said the Flash movie is a great one. Like he made sure he's like, hey, look, I've seen it. It's really good. I did hear though, you know what I'm saying, that there was a bunch of like cameos for like other people to be a part of to like bring them into with the old plan was to use that Flash to bring in old people. Cut it all out. Yeah, cut it out. I don't need that. So you saute that thing up. I'm tossing it. Then you went on to what? What was the other one? Oh, it was like a multiverse reset. Then he said Aquaman. He said Aquaman leads right into no, not Aquaman. Blue Beetle. He said Blue Beetle's fantastic. He pretty much praised all the movies, said how they lead to the other, and then when it starts with his stuff, the Commandos,
Creature Commandos.
Creature Commandos. I'm not gonna lie to you, never heard of them. Never heard of them.
I saw the little short they did on them, so I've seen that before. So, I've
seen that. I will say this though: when we were talking Monday, last time we was live, We talked Monday. We was like, man, we want him to pick somebody. You ain't got to go with the DC. You ain't got to go with the Trinity. You ain't got to put people we already know. Find somebody else. It's a ton of comics, and he found somebody else, and I love it. I love every bit of it. Now so after the Commandos, I think he said the Waller series is next, right?
Yep.
Waller TV show series with Viola Davis coming back. I would say this: Viola Davis makes the perfect Amanda Waller, and I can't see nobody else playing with her. I don't. And I did say he needed to reboot everybody, but since she's obviously not doing that, Amanda Waller should have stayed. She's the best. She should have been the first part to stay. She's like that. Like that.
That's like with Marvel and the Netflix ones. It's like, yeah, I don't think I want to find anybody else to do Daredevil. Charlie Cox did so good. So yeah, we're just gonna leave that there. So
yeah, see, and you know what is funny about that is that so a lot of people had like, man, he needs to James Gunn needs to cut everybody, needs a free reboot, want to bring anybody back. But nobody has a problem with Marvel reusing same actors from different movies, and then like people are only picking choosing people he want from Netflix to come over. Now I get it; it's not exactly apples to apples or oranges to oranges, and Marvel has a run rate where they up to the point where if anybody criticizes them, it's like blasphemy. It's like talking bad about Beyonce, which I've done, and I stand by it. But either way, so I get that. But it's still malarkey at its highest order. So after the Amanda Waller series, you got. Hold on, I wrote my notes.
Superman Legacy.
Yeah, I don't care about Superman. I don't care about
the entire rest of the world cares about that.
Your
flagship character, your number one, we'll say it. Number one character in your comic book, in all of your comics, the one that all the studios and everybody, the studio heads push and everything, between him and Batman, something has to get made for them. Like, yes, Superman has to have another one. They dropped the ball with Henry Cavill because they didn't do enough. They only did the one movie with Henry Cavill. They should have had more than one movie with Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill, Superman, like roles he was actually in. I'm not counting Black Adam. He's been in 4 movies, so I don't want to hear it. 4 movies.
He's Superman. He should have had his own.
He had his own movie too. Batman v Superman was his sequel. I don't understand why people don't like to hear it, but it was true. That's what he said. It was a sequel. And everybody wants to, like, oh, no. It was the sequel. What you want me to do? Dan, you always go by what they said it, so it has to be true. They said it, and now you still don't want to believe it.
Nobody said that. Superman Legacy is coming out. He announced that Superman Legacy is coming out in 2025, which means by next year we should be getting, or maybe the end of this year, we should be, or hopefully by San Diego Comic-Con, they can at least announce who the next Superman is going to be and stuff, because that's going to be another big deal.
I will say this: don't hire an established actor. You go find somebody who's been doing like a little low budget TV or indie films that's a real good actor, and you bring them up. If you go, because it's the Superman, I don't know.
You want Chris Hemsworth it?
No. Nobody knew Chris Hemsworth was before Thor.
Chris Hemsworth it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm telling you. Go look back at all the other Superman that played Superman on the big screen. You didn't know who they were until after they were Superman. You can go look at it. And the dude who directed the first Superman said, he's like, I didn't want to get some big name actor to play Superman, because when you see him fly, you won't see Superman. You'll just see that actor in a Superman costume. So he found somebody who never been Superman, made him Superman, and hired all the stars around him. And it's been like that for every time Superman has been casted. It's been some guy you've never seen. I mean, Superman Return was what's his face? Yeah, never seen that guy a day in my life in anything.
You did, but he was one of those low time actors. He was in soap opera.
That's been my point exactly. Henry Cavill was nobody until he was Superman. You never like, oh yeah, Henry Cavill's been in it. I was like, no, who the hell that guy is? Get Superman. Matter of fact, all of these people you're going to bring over that are going to take on these new roles, bring in people we haven't seen before. Get new, fresh faces. Make them the star. You can hire the big time actors to surround them, but for them specifically, for like a new Batman, Damian Wayne, we never had anybody, so it doesn't really matter. But go hire people we haven't seen before and then make them the star. You want to know why? Number one, it's easy. It's easier to find lower, but it's easier to pay them, so you ain't got to spend as much. Number two, you can get them under a easier contract. So like you try to get a Ben Affleck right now, he's already Ben Affleck as Batman. So it's going to be hard, even though he wants to do it when Zack Snyder was doing, not with Jeff Johns. I mean, and the other dude, Josh Whedon. But it's hard. It's harder to get bigger actors to come in, especially since you're not Marvel. You don't got that cachet to come in, do the cameos, do the world building. You can get some brand new guy come in, and he'll like, man, I'm about to be Batman. I sign me up for this. I take that cameo and pay me $2 million less.
Oh my God, no.
I mean, that's an over exaggeration, but you get what I'm saying.
I do.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So you go get for all of them. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes. I got a lot. So next is the Green Lanterns TV show.
Yeah, that should be great. If
with Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart.
If they make it as he portrayed it, a true detective story where there are like two space cops and this is their sector, Earth is still their sector and everything.
Part of their sector.
Then yeah, if they actually write it and it's HBO level quality TV show, I have no problem. It should be amazing. He
did say that the show was going to be them uncovering something that leads to the larger story. So I just want to point this out before Actually, let's get through the rest of the projects, then I bring it up later. I took a lot of notes as I was doing other stuff later today that was supposed to be working.
All of us did. This was a big announcement. This was the biggest 5 minutes of every comic book fan's life. It's like, so much to go through.
All right, so the Authority. I have thoughts on this and why he bring them in, but and I'll explain that like a little later on. But I know. All right, rephrase. I don't know the Authority. I went to get real. I know you do, Dan. I don't know the Authority. I'm not gonna lie, but when I went to go like look them up, I somehow got a comic. I'm not gonna explain how. I read. I'm like, oh, they fired. Now some people got some issues with it. Actually, I'll get to that later. I'm trying to get through the project. So the Authority. I'm sorry. He got the Authority. They're like, what's the best way to say it? They're heroes, but they kind of iffy. They on that edge. Like they're not even on the edge. They don't care about politics or anything like that. That guy's bad. He needs to go. They're literally a bunch of Punishers with superpowers. That's the best way to explain it. After that, you got the Lost Paradise. It's a
Paradise Lost.
Paradise
Lost. Thrones style and Themyscira.
They say it's gonna be like Game of Thrones kind of style. It's supposed to be the TV show.
High standards.
Yeah, you can't just throw around Game of Thrones. You can't throw around Game of Thrones.
You better have some deep. You better have some good stories, some deep history. There better be some backgrounds on the man. The family tree better be legit. They better have background stories on every character. Has to have a background story. Man, you can't say Game of Thrones and be like, oh yeah, this is a new character. Bullshit.
You just can't throw around Game of Thrones. It's not. You can't just throw it at.
I tell you, high standards, buddy.
You can't even say Game of Thrones light. No, you can't say it unless you say Game of Thrones season 8. But then all that, and then after that, they're like, oh, we don't like that either.
He said the bar. He said the bar high when he said that. I was like, okay, I'm glad you yelled out. You better have the right writers for that one, buddy. You better have the right writers, and I hope it's going to be interesting because Themyscira is an all-female island, so a show with just strictly all-female cast is going to be interesting too.
Yeah, you better. Well,
warrior females.
You gotta have the female love stories with each one, like going back and forth. Then you're gonna have the if you're gonna say Game of Thrones, we need sex scenes. Then you gotta have the backstabbing for whatever reason. You got to have all different ethnicities because then it's scary. It's not just one race thing. I want to see all of them. I want to see a little bit of everybody. A little bit of black, a little bit of Asian, a little bit of Hispanic, a little bit of Middle Eastern. I want to see a little bit of everything.
And there better be a fight in every episode. There better be. I don't care if it's like how Walking Dead killed a zombie. They made sure to kill a zombie in every episode of Walking Dead. So if you ever go back and watch Walking Dead, a zombie gets killed in every episode. So in my head, on an island full of warrior women, there better be a skirmish or a breakout or a fight every episode. I want to see somebody get punched in the face every episode.
Every 3 episodes, I want to see a sex scene. You said Game of Thrones. I call it like I see it.
I'm about to say, I don't see nothing wrong with that.
All right, look, next one is Batman Brave and the Bold, where he is going to have Damian Wayne as the Robin that we all going to have to fall in love with.
He did it. He did it. He did it to himself. He just did it to himself. He did not have to set it. He set himself up on that one.
Explain that one.
That you going Damian Wayans and you're like, yeah, this is my favorite one. Nobody's ever had a Damian Wayne for live action, and that's new territory right there. Well, and he's like folks is going to be like, yo, this story better be awesome because like people wanted to see Dick Grayson Nightwing.
You still see them
since the last Christopher Nolan one. So for you to just skip over him, you skipped over Jason Todd, you skipped over Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and went straight to him. Oh man! And then if it is that Damon Wayans, that means we expect to see Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and Dick Grayson eventually somewhere in one of the movies later on.
What's wrong with that? Skip ahead a little bit.
I'm skipping ahead a lot.
I don't care, but
you don't care. I'm just saying.
You do not have to do everything the way people want you to. If you step out of line a little bit, if you step out of line and still give them good product, they won't care either. He has a plan, time to follow the plan because you can still see a Dick Grayson, you can still see a Red Hood, you can still see Tim Drake, you can still see all of them, and then they can already have their story. Then you can go back and tell them their stories. Like everybody says they love.
Like you said the other day.
Like everybody loves. Like for instance, Al loves Red Hood. He loves Jason Todd, right? He loves Red Hood. Nobody gives a crap about him being robbed, but they only cared about him after he was killed by the Joker, came back at the Red Hood. So skip over that. Go right to the Red Hood issue. Red Hood part. Dick Grayson, we get it. He's a great Robin. Everybody knows him as Nightwing, though. All right? Just skip over the Robin, go to Night. Like all of these other Robins have gone on to live their own life. The only one who has it is Damian Wayne. And you have a thing in real life called getting older. So it's not like comic books where Batman has had 4 people, 3 of them will turn up to be already adult, and he still hasn't gone past the age of 32. All right? So you got to skip ahead. It is what it is. Next one, Booster Gold. You got to bring in Chris Pratt. You got to let that poster go. It's not staying. You got to bring in Chris Pratt.
What?
I call it like I see it. You name me somebody better, even though I did just say go find somebody new.
I was about to say that. Nobody knew who Chris Pratt was in all his shows.
I did. I did because I love Reparation.
Nobody saw Chris Pratt being an action hero the way he is now and doing nothing but action movies and look at all. That action movie he did on Amazon was awesome, yo. I just like that. Chris Pratt. But get somebody who's do same way you found Chris Pratt, do the same thing like you said earlier.
But I kind of want to see Chris Pratt. I don't know.
Nah.
I'm not denying you because I just went back and as I said, I was like, that's just complete opposite of what I just said earlier. So you're right. I'm just saying, I don't care.
You can't be me.
All right, the next one is one I'm kind of excited for. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. I said that right? Yeah, Woman of Tomorrow.
Really?
I am. And the reason why is I actually read that series. That shit's a banger. That thing is a banger. Like that thing is a banger.
Can
She's
they put
gone,
it in 2 hours?
huh?
Can they make it into 2 hours?
I mean, yeah, you can montage here and there. Use dialogue to explain some of the past, so you kind of like skip over a little bit, cut out some scenes. But yeah, you could 2.5. Some just 2 hours. 2:45. You can make it happen. 2:45. No credits included in that. 2:45.
Okay.
Then the next thing, the last is Swamp Thing. Now,
I like the DC Universe show.
I do. I do. I really do. I I I love that show, man. And it ended 2 episodes early, and I still
Right?
oh my gosh.
This show was actually really good, yo.
That was, but nobody really watched it, so you can do what you want. You can take parts from that though. You get those writers right in and make it happen. All right. So that's the whole slate. And its first phase is called These Gods and Monsters, which is from the
DCU Chapter 1.
Yeah, DC Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. But as soon as I heard that, I thought of the animated movie Justice League Gods and Monsters. You remember that? Like Batman was like a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a pretty.
Superman had a mustache and a goatee.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a pretty good one. And they didn't really care. They was like, they got the work in.
Yeah, they did.
They got the work in.
That was actually a good story too.
It really was.
I'm curious about what he's going to do with Swamp Thing though, because Swamp Thing's show was good. I was like, yo, and is that going to be a movie?
Yeah, he said a movie.
He said a horror movie too.
Yeah, he said a horror movie. He said it's kind of disconnected, but it does lead into the larger story. And a lot of this stuff, I think that what they happen is everybody. So DC has a thing where their heroes are really known as more like God-like figures, like Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lanterns are supposed to be like they're not. They're more like the police force of space. But like Cyborg's supposed to be like the god of the internet. Flash is like the god of speed. Like that's how they look at. That's the people like grandiose characters. So they would be the gods, and they're fighting some huge monster, or a group of monsters, something that's really coming. But I know a lot of people have said that so I had some people say that to me it just seems like DC's doing the same thing over again, but with a different name, where none of this stuff seems connected, and it's not going to be like Marvel, just everybody gets what they want. And I would say, so what I would say to those people is, you're idiots. Simple as that. The first when people go back and stop having revisionist history and go back and look at the first phase of Marvel, tell me what you saw. Tell me anything in that first phase you said, oh my gosh, they're going to fight Thanos in a long-term movie. Not one of them. Not a single one. You just said, oh, Iron Man, it's a good movie. Then a string of okay subpar movies. And then that was it. And they're like, oh my gosh, they're all in the same world, but you didn't know what it was leading to. You had no idea. Same thing with Phase 2. Phase 2 was the same thing. Nobody knew what was happening until
you knew it was leading to
what?
To the Avengers.
That was the end of Phase 2. And that you didn't even know that. You just
no. That was the whole purpose of the first few movies, was to lead to the Avengers. That's why they introduced them and had origin movies and everything. That's what the whole purpose was. That was Phil Coulson's whole purpose of going around and meeting all the other heroes and being at those moments. Ooh, do you think we'll get a glimpse of a type of a person? You think he will have a Phil Coulson type, or will he just, find a way to connect them all?
I think it's going to be all right, I'm gonna answer that question. Then we got to try to get some of these comments in. We don't have that many, but I think he will, but I don't think it'll be. I actually, you know what? I don't really think so.
That's what I thought. I didn't think he was going to do it either. I don't think
so. I honestly don't, because
he's going to go with something real creative to have them all come together.
All right, so first comment, we're gonna go to It's Me the Truth. I think he put this in before we actually started the live. He wants to know, Dan, what you think about the Green Lantern TV show?
It's going to be if it's actually like he described it, and it's going to be a true detective type story, it should be great. But if it's not, then. But it's on HBO Max, and HBO has high standards. So HBO
HBO
standards have always been great. So if they do, hopefully their budget is going to be allowing, so that we can get some actual special effects, and they'll be
right on the nose, dang. I was thinking the same thing.
they
We're gonna need money for that.
we can have some we can get some greatness because freaking what was it called? House of the Dragon. I mean, that thing was amazing. And the special effects in that are awesome. But they were already established and they knew they were going to make the money back. So I'm hoping that they're giving James Gunn the same amount of leeway and said, DC comics and stuff, the comic book industry is hot right now and people love that kind of stuff. So we're going to give you a reasonable amount of money, make it happen. So if they do all that and he gets all of that, it should be amazing.
All right, so next one from one of our better fans, one of our fans, M Wombat. I keep 85.
85.
Yeah, I mess it up every time and I look at it. It says I'm ready for Swamp Thing and the Authority. I'm ready for the Authority. I really want to see how hard they go. I got them, and the reason I'm ready for Authority. All right, so when he said the Authority, right, and I went back and I looked at the Authority, like did the research. The first thing I thought was, all right, these are gonna be superheroes that got out of hand. Normally, when you have a superhero that gets out of hand, and James Gunn, the way he talked about Superman, you would have to get the new heroes in line. First, the main story I thought of with that was Kingdom Come. Like, remember in Kingdom Come, he was grabbing up all the new superheroes because they were getting out of hand, overdoing it, killing civilians to get villains and stuff like that, not knowing what to do. And he put them in a cave in that little city so he could recondition them. And they went haywire. Then I thought, in order to do that, you need a Superman, Flash, Wonder Woman. You need all of these heroes to already gone through it, quit, and leave the rest of the world behind, and then have these super. That takes too long, and you don't have that kind of leeway. So then I thought, what's another way he can still have that same thing? Was it when Superman fighting the new heroes or out of control heroes and try to make a point? The only one I thought was Superman versus the Elite, and that's what I was thinking. So instead of having the Elite, you have Superman versus the Authority somewhere down the line.
I remember when I read back when they did, I think it was the New 52, when they did Stormwatch. And Stormwatch is basically the Authority when they were trying to reintroduce them. Because it used to be with Wildcat and Jim Lee sold them to DC and they're part of them and everything. And when they did the reboot for the New 52, they had a team, which is a majority of the people from the Authority were on Stormwatch. And I remember reading that comic. So I'm familiar with them and everything. And there's who some of the characters are and everything. So it'll be interesting, especially when the unique abilities a couple of them have. It'll be interesting to see. It's going to cost them quite a bit on special effects. It'll be interesting to see on film what they do with it.
I trust James Gunn in special effects. I mean, look at the great effects he does on Guardians of the Galaxy. Both times.
It's true. But the only problem is I'm not too familiar with their villains and everything. Like all their bad guys are for them and everything. But yeah, it should be good. It should be good.
All right, next one from Cardinal Caruso. I know that guy. the DC is just running out of ideas. That's why we said
no, they're not.
They're not.
Just haven't used any of the recent ideas. What he's doing.
The problem is, like we said on Monday, the problem with DC is that they get people who don't know really read comic books. They just look at the very bare minimum and just keep using the same stuff. DC has a ton of stuff that's not touched at all. At all.
And that's why everything he named was based off of comic books.
Yeah.
So it's funny, people. It's good that it's a good thing you said that too, Cardinal, because and when he made the announcement, he made sure he referenced comics so that fans can go back and read the comics, and then it's a setup too. because like you can go back and read the comics that he referenced and then see how great the story is, so that then you can get hyped as he is and everybody else is for some of the projects that are coming out and everything. He made sure he said, yeah, Batman Brave and the Bold by this author, this comic book.
He dropped author's name and everything.
Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow by this author,
Tom
this
King.
comic.
His name is Tom King.
Yeah. So
yeah,
to get you ready for everything that's coming out beginning in 2025 after you've watched everything in 2023 and they gotten ready for some of it in 2024 came out. He's like getting you prepared. Like it's a total setup. I like it. I love it.
I like it. All right.
And DC Comics is going to benefit too, because the comic book sales should be going back up after this too. Because now everybody has something to reference to. Oh yeah. You go to a comic book store. Oh yeah, I just heard about the DC's new slate. Oh, bet. Oh yeah, go read this, read that, read this, and read that. Come back and see us.
I know I did that with the Eternals. I'm upset about that. But either way. And Wombat 85 also said he's ready for the Landis, Hal Jordan, and Jon Stewart. Also looking forward to the Wonder Woman prequel, which will be Game of Thrones meets Spartacus. You throw in, like I said, like we said earlier, can't just be said Game of Thrones, can't be just throwing out analogy all out willy-nilly. That's high standards. It's real high standards. Better meet them. All right. Cardinal also said, how many times can you tell the Batman story? Well, one, he's got plenty of stories. If you're talking about his origin story, they're skipping right over that. They're getting right into Batman. So if he's already at Damian Wayne, this Batman's established. He's already got his height. He's got his gear. He's in his prime. And now you're going to see him try to be a father. You've never seen Batman try to be like a legit, this is my son. I got to raise him not from the ground up, but I got to raise him from age 10, and you see him. And because it's Damian Wayne, you know you're going to have to, at some point, you're going to have to deal with the demon head. You're going to have to deal with Ra's al Ghul.
I got two answers to that. The first answer is once you get rid of having the same villains in your movies and you go into his other villains, then you're going to definitely tell other stories.
Yes.
So like we've seen Joker in several Batman movies. We've seen Penguin before. We've seen Riddler before. We've seen Catwoman before. So once you get past those villains and start using his other villains, there's millions of other stories to tell. Not only that, Batman probably has more comic books at one time than anybody else out there. Like Batman will have a new comic every week from a different one. He'll have Dark Knight. He'll have Batman White, Batman. He'll have
the White Knight.
So many different dang comics. It doesn't make any detective comics. It doesn't make it so. It's ridiculous.
Batman is son.
Yeah. So I mean,
Batman Incorporated.
Exactly. You pick which
all at the same time.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Batman's the only one who Batman is one of the few people who have a new issue of one of his comics every week. One of the few people that can do it. There's only like what 4 other people who could pull that off. I remember at one point Wolverine was doing it. Spider-Man did it at one point. Superman was doing it because he had Action Comics, Superman, Son of Krypton, something. He had like 4 different comics out at one time, and they had each one of them a different one each week. There's only 4 weeks in a month, so it was ridiculous. Ridiculous. Ain't nobody had money for that.
Got to pick and choose. And one thing I said, can't wait to see Batman's son and the Demon Head grandson. This is what we talk. That's what we just said. If you bring in Damian Wayne, you bring in the Demon Head. You bring in Ra's al Ghul. That means you bring in the League of Assassins. So Batman versus the League of Assassins trying to rip his son away from him. That's a great movie right there. The movie writes itself. Some action, bang bang. Ooh, oh my God! Then you can start introducing some of their better. You can start introducing some of their. You know how like so the League of Assassins they got the general ninjas, right? But they got them special ones. They got upgraded somehow, put a little enhancements, and you can start going through lieutenants. Oh my gosh, it writes itself. Great job. Cardinal, but who can you get to effectively and consistently play these characters? You don't find people So, like I said earlier, you don't get actors who have already like an Oscar nominated, who's been in like 4 franchises already, who's trying to no writing. No, you don't get none of that. You go to your TV shows, the indie films, this area, and you find you your next one. You find a good one. Don't just pick anybody. You go look. You get the best, and you bring them in, and then you make them the stars. Don't already get the stars because the stars are already going to be harder to work with, and they don't. They it's a so-called a stain on DC with actors. So you just go get somebody who are not known and you go make them a star. Henry Cavill, like I said before, he was not a star before Man of Steel. Then he became, and he was Superman. Every Superman before him was not a star until they became Superman. You just do that with the whole cast.
You gotta let them people know when you sit down and you interview them and everything that you got a bigger plan and a bigger picture. Plus, the people nowadays, all the actors nowadays understand what comes with doing a superhero role and the potential multiple roles that you're going to get anyway. So I'm pretty sure that once you sign that dotted line to play a superhero, you know you're going to be in multiple projects. Like everybody already, I think, what was it? Robert Downey Jr. already set the bar and the standard for what is the potential of how great you could be up there. Him and Chris Evans, him and Chris Evans set the bar and the standard of potential of what you can do. Like you could take it as far as you can as they'll allow you to take it, and you can make this as great as you can, and for both sides, for the studio and yourself, you can come out. Both of y'all can come out great. All you gotta do is be willing to put in the work, and goddamn it, stay out of trouble outside of off camera. Just stay out of trouble outside of camera. Like the great thing was, what was his name? Robert Downey Jr. All his bad things got done, and he was done with all his bad stuff and being arrested and everything by the time he got to the Iron Man role. So he knew he was ready for it, and it worked out great. And us fans got the benefit from it. So these actors know that your future can be real bright if you get one of these roles, especially the next Superman and Batman. You know what kind of mantle you're taking. Oh my God.
Yeah, crazy. So Gardner said, are they just milking their only profitable characters? No, that's why they picked all these other people that know a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Mainstream fans don't know at all. For instance, a lot of people don't know who Booster Gold is. I do because he's hilarious. I didn't know who the Authority were. What's the Creature Commandos? People don't know that they going back to Dennis Curry before.
D-list.
Yeah, that's a little more. Some of these people are a little D-list. I say Booster Gold might be C-list. The Authority, Creature Command, they D. They down there.
Yeah. Stormwatch didn't make it. Yeah. They renamed it and changed the characters from the Authority to Stormwatch just to try to get it to resell and everything, and it still didn't work.
Like I said, it's not C-list. Booster Gold at least was on the episode of Justice League. Okay, he had his own episode of Justice League.
Booster Gold's been on a little bit of everything.
I said he's C-list. Some of these other people, I ain't.
Booster Gold is one of those people. Like if you read comics long enough, you know who he is and you like him. It's like Deadpool. Before people knew who Deadpool really was, Deadpool was known in the comic book world. Like you knew Deadpool was. People who read comics knew who Deadpool was. We didn't take him serious.
Yeah,
that's like Booster Gold. We don't take Booster Gold serious.
Not yet. It's all it takes is one story. Boom, you're that guy.
Yeah. I hope he Deadpools it. Go for it.
Yeah. All right. So M. Wamba 85 said, "Hope the villain for Swamp Thing is," I said Anton. I can't pronounce that.
Okay.
I had it in my head. I was about to mess it up. Anton Arcane, hope they connect Swamp Thing to the elemental forces, namely the green and the red and the rock. I like that.
They gotta do that anyway. Yeah, they gotta do that.
They
were doing that. They were doing that in what's the name?
In the show.
They were doing it in his show. Shoot, they're doing it right now in Titans. If you watch Titans, they're bringing the red and the rot and everything is in.
They also did it. It was something else I was watching. It was John Constantine. It was an animated one. He was talking to Swamp Thing.
The last Justice League movie they did that. Talked about that too.
Yeah, Dark.
Justice League Dark.
Yeah, Apocalypse War.
Apocalypse War, yeah.
the greatest animated.
Messing up the green. They're killing the green and the earth. Swamp things don't like that.
Also, you can have him. I mean, if you want to make some money, team up with Poison Ivy. So you're gonna make some real money. I mean, just saying it. All right. Cardinal also said, "What are your best characters, Archie's?" I don't read Archie comics. Nah, I'm not stupid. So I will say this though. That leads to a good question. Daniel, of these projects, which one are you most excited for?
Let me look at the list. Probably. Well, I have no idea. Don't have a clue. I'm curious about Waller because I wanted to know what he's going to do. And he had a little smirk on his face when he said it and everything. And he mentioned the writer from The Watchmen and the writer from Doom Patrol, which is a weird combination because Doom Patrol is the most weirdest off the hook show ever. Like the stuff they do in Doom Patrol, I still wouldn't even believe. And their comic alone is still crazy.
Everybody was having an orgasm in this town.
And there was every season there was a different type of orgasm. If you pay attention, there was a different orgy going on, or orgasm, or a sex scene. Their sex scenes are weird too. That joint is with the ghost doing it and stuff. That show's weird. So when he said that writer, and then the writer, a more serious writer who did one of the better DC shows and wrote the Watchmen remake show, was that piqued my interest. So for right now, I'm gonna say Waller, which got me like, yeah, I can't wait to see what they do with that. And then secondly will be Supergirl, because they're gonna put Supergirl on the big screen. Who is gonna play Supergirl? And then you come in with that kind of story, that is going to be interesting. And then the third will probably be Batman, because they're going to do Damian Wayne. And Damian Wayne, that boy is cold-blooded. He's a straight-up assassin. He sees the world in black and white. He has no cut cards. So, like, to see them put him on the big screen and Bruce Wayne try to put him in check, can't wait to see that.
All right, so
2-foot-tall kid driving a Batmobile.
2 foot tall, my ass. It's all of 4'3". All of 4'3".
He'll remind you of that too. He would definitely remind you of that.
All right, so the show I'm looking for the most, the project I'm looking for more, is honestly the Green Lantern show. I want to see Hal Jordan. I want to see John Stewart. I want to see them together, and I want to see what they uncover, and I want to see what is like. What kind of big deal is this? It's gods and monsters. Are we talking about new gods or the old gods? I need to know. Because remember, he said this is only a part of the first phase. It's not the whole first phase. He only gave you the first 10 projects. All right? He didn't give you the whole thing.
Right.
I want to know. I got to know. That's the one I'm worried most. Plus, it's something I could watch over, and like I could see it on TV. I could watch it. I could sit back, tell the kids to go to sleep or anything like that. All right. Before we get into that, Cardinal did clarify what he talked about. He said he meant to say what's your best character's arc. So I hope is he trying to say like which characters had the best arc? Because if that's the case, I would have to say, for me, Superman is all the way at the bottom. Sure. I don't know. For me, I would probably have to say Red Hood, because he was a kid off the street. Batman took him in. He did his best to work with him. He became Robin. He tried to prove himself like all Robins do. But at this point, he got himself killed. Came back, said he's like, the Joker's got to die. And I'm also in complete agreement with, because the Joker has to die. He's filled graveyards. And then, he's trying to do his best. For me, it would be him. And I promise you, you will see all of these Robins in this new DC universe. It was just, they're all going to be past their Robins, though. They are going to be in their adult mantles. What about you, Nick? You got any of your best character art?
The only character who's ever really had an arc, other than you just naming Red Hood because he died and then he came back and everything, and nobody else has really had a real arc, unless you want to go way off brand and everything and talk about somebody from different comics and everything. But nobody's really had a real arc and everything. Like there's no beginning, middle, and end. Like Iron Man level, where you can say how all the different levels and phases Iron Man went through, because he had a true arc, like all three of his movies, and then him dying in the end of the Avengers. But as far as DC right now, ain't nobody got no arc or anything like that.
The only one who's had an arc was in the DCEU. All right, so I was thinking about comics. I wasn't thinking about like live action.
I was thinking both, and I couldn't. I was still like,
So this is the thing, right? The problem with DC,
wait, huh?
The problem with comic books and having art is that they don't, since like for the last 30 years, 30, 40 years, they don't make new characters in like, at least in the main, in DC, the two big ones, DC and Marvel. So a lot of people don't have an end. They'll go through something, they'll work their way through it, and everything gets reset to the standard. Then they go find some way to go through something else again. So they all got, like, nobody ever comes out, hey, I was a bad person, something bad happened to me, I worked my way out of it, now I'm a great person, and I'm being a great person from here on out. So it's hard to say that. It's just hard. Like Batman.
They don't have no closures. There's no closure with anybody. Even Superman, when Superman died, he came back, and he was still picked up where he left off.
Same guy.
Yeah.
Like you with Arrow in the CW. Like how many times is this man going to push away his team to go fight on his own to come back and need his team again?
Yeah, there's nah. I mean, if you give me like another day or two to really think about it, I'm pretty sure I could find somebody for you. But right now, off the top of my head, I ain't like.
So all right, so the reason why that, because the nature of comic books is for everything to go back to the way it was. For instance, like Spider-Man here. I'm sorry, Spider-Man right here, right? Spider-Man has literally been a poor teenage kid, poor grown up. He had his mind switched with Doc Ock. Doc Ock turned Peter Parker to a goddamn ministry, millionaire. Came back, got his body back. Now he's a millionaire. You know what happened? Lost it all. He's back poor, taking pictures for the Daily Planet. Everything goes back to the same. It's always is. It's the status quo.
Daily Bugle.
It's the status quo. He got married to MJ. You know what happened? We don't like that. We like when his life's fucked up. All right, tear it all down. Oh, you know who does have an arc? Professor Xavier. I will say that. Because he started out as the ultimate, what's the word I'm looking for? Not, you always looking for the best in everything. Optimist. He was always an optimist. He didn't want to take any violence unless he had to. Now look at him. He went to war. He said, look, we are our own country with Magneto. We're our own people. And if you think you're going to just take us not, we're going to give you that work. So, yeah. I would say him and Magneto, kind of the same way, but Magneto really hasn't had all. He's like, look, we're better than them. We can find our own place, or we're not letting them touch us. He's always been like that.
If you really want to read something with an arc, I'm pretty sure Anthony will back me on this when I say Invincible. But
oh my God, I was just for the Daniel, real quick.
Go at your own discretion.
The last 2 days, I've been talking to co-workers like, go read Invincible. It's one of the greatest comics of all time, and it's not one of those things where they hit like 25 and they never go past the age of 25, no matter how much time has passed in the world. It's like a whole beginning, middle, end. It literally ends. And because if I finish reading that, I have decided that all comic book characters' stories should end. All of them should end. We should be getting new characters all the time.
Oh yeah. The problem is his was a real story though. So
my point exactly. They all should end. I'm just bad.
If you see the first season of his show, you're like, well, this is a little too real. It's like, yeah, that's the life you live being a hero.
I know all. I went back. I've read video. I watched videos. I read the comics. I know everything that happens. I know why it happens. And I'm telling you, because of that, all comic book character stories are in. All of them.
But
I don't care who I'm talking about. Batman, Spider-Man, all of them should come to an end.
I'm not all the way against it, but I can understand why to keep them going and everything.
I do. I understand it, but they all see it.
I think everybody should get a hiatus. Should get like a vacation. I think all characters need like a 5-year vacation.
I say this: DC Marvel, start writing stories that end up all your characters, right? Then do a reboot. I don't know, and give me all brand new characters for 10 years. Then come back another 10 years, reboot with the I don't know, cycle them through. But they all see it.
I say every year retire, put them on hiatus, and give them a retirement package.
18 years. Every 18 years, characters should end. Stop for 18 years, get a new character, and then 18 years bring the other. So character A got 18 years. After 18 years, you give your character B. Someone's close to him, but not almost the same. And after that next 18 years, bring back character A.
They got life in prison? Jesus Christ.
Nah. I said 18 years, so you got people. I was trying to think of like an age group. Like so.
Oh, generational?
Generational.
25 year it?
Yes, but I don't want 25 to be like too long. Yeah, so you go 18. You 18. So for somebody who's just getting the comics, so when they turn like 12.
25 or 15? I can't remember.
I don't know, it doesn't matter. You turn 12, you can go back, read 6 years of comics, and catch up or read the key comics, and then you know after that, 18 years about to come up. Oh, we about to get something new. Now I'm about to be the guy. Yes. Oh yeah. I solved it.
You say 18. I say let's do 3 years. Let's go 3 years without that certain character, and then bring them back in Thor fashion, where they come in out of the blue and save the day of a big story. Or
3 years too soon. 18. You got to give them time to people miss and forget them. Then bring
3.
No. I'm not part of this microwave culture. I need it right away. 18 years. Give me a chance to miss them and fall in love with somebody else. So it hurts my heart when that character's gone later. Oh yeah.
You'll completely lose the fan base of 18 years. So we'll go with 3.
18. I'm going 18. I'm sticking by it.
That sounds ridiculous.
It does. No, it doesn't. 18 years.
It does.
18 years to give you a chance. Put it like, how long was Captain America gone in real life? Not in the comics, but in real life. When this issue stopped and they stopped making this comic, so they brought him back from the ice. It was like over 20 years. And everybody loved him when he came back.
What do you no? You know what? No. We're gonna go with it like 3-year plan.
18.
Where we take them out completely, actually take them out of comics for 3 years, and then they come back in with the Thor rescue and save the day, give them a good old reboot.
I need 18 years. I need solid 18 years. Also, today's February 1st. Black History, first day of Black History Month, baby. First day of Black History. But yeah, 18 years. All right, let's get
got some snow and everything else.
Man, I hate the snow.
People retiring. Got a whole lot going on Black History Month.
I hate Tom Brady too. Batman hasn't had an arc.
You weren't supposed to say his name.
I hate him. Batman hasn't had an arc through all forms of media. That's not true.
He did in the Nolan one. He stopped being Batman in the Nolanverse.
Yeah, he stopped being Batman then. I would say go read the Dark Knight animated movie. The Dark Knight animated movie, like the two. It's 2 of them on. They're both on HBO Max. Dark Knight Returns, The Return of the Dark Knight, and The Return of the Dark Knight Part 2. Yeah, so he had an arc then.
The 3 Nolan movies, he had a beginning because the first one was called Batman Begins, then Dark Knight, and at the end of Dark Knight, he stopped being Batman. And then when he came back at the last one, Dark Knight Rises, he was Batman again, and then he found out, he had a good reason in his mind to stop being Batman all over again and stop being Batman again. and then fully retired and faked his own death or whatever, and boom, boom, bam. So to answer your question, he did have in the movies he had an arc, a 3-movie arc, beginning, a middle, and an end, and they literally did it like that too, beginning, middle, and end. And so yeah, that's happened. But
Eric Kirk said 18 years, really? Absolutely. I stand by that. Give you a good chance to miss it. Hey, your kids come up, they learn something, they fall in love with a new character, and it's gonna take them to absolutely 18 years, yes. I might will it down to 15, but I'm not going. It starts at 15. It'll no lower than 15. 15 years. 15 to 18 years. All right, I put like 15 to 18 years.
The future for DCU is looking like it's potentially going to be something worthwhile for right now. It's got my attention. It's got a lot of people's attention. I'm glad he did the right thing and referenced source material, and they're going to be actually using real source material. They're like Marvel is done, So that's a good thing. It's good for both the film industry, as far as films go, and comic books.
It's good for storytelling.
And it's definitely good for the storytelling and everything. So we can just sit there. And it's good for y'all people out there who be like, oh no, James Gunn is just going to write everything and everything. No.
He said he wasn't.
He told y'all that, yeah, but nobody really believed him. And then now he's sitting there telling you, I'm not writing.
He don't have time to write everything. No, they should have known. First thought was, if he's running the whole studio, he doesn't have time to write everything. He might write a project here and there. He might write 2 projects. He might direct one, but he don't have time to do every single one. Man's got a life.
And he's using great stories too. And he's also using great stories. So that's a good thing too. So I like that. I like the direction they're going so far. I like the idea of using the same actor for animation, TV, and film, and they're all as one and everything. Everything is as one. I don't know how they're going to use the gaming platform and how he's in charge of the gaming and stuff too. But it makes sense though. But
don't put it on PlayStation 5. I ain't got one yet. Take your time with the gaming part, because I don't have a PlayStation 5 yet. Take your time with that. Don't rush that one. Don't rush that. All right, because I'm not trying to buy a system or wait for somebody to play the whole game and put the story on the TV. Just take your time with that one. Nwamba also, he said also, Nwamba 85 cannot use words properly. He said also, I think the Waller series will be the trial of Amanda Waller, someone coming after her, and I think it's going to be Rick Flag Sr., and that's when she will get the Peacemaker to help her. I can see that. I can see the whole.
Rick Flag Sr. is supposed to be with Creature Commandos. That's who the guy was that is on the end right there. I do believe was Rick Flag Sr. So he'll have to be old. He'll be old as what's the name? As was it Peacemaker's father in there and everything? And it was interesting when they referenced Peacemaker's father used to be a villain and stuff. And he's a genius. He had genius intelligence, while Peacemaker is like a dummy.
It's
interesting how you raise your children and everything.
Hide in his house where he could hide his weapons.
Yeah. And it's the weirdest thing ever.
I'm gonna go rewatch that show. Actually, got to get ready.
It was a decent show. It was actually pretty decent.
Show. It was a good show.
It kept my attention, so I'm not mad at it.
I do hope he did.
I didn't like the dang God Karate Kid, but everything teaches own.
That's fine. I don't really care. I will say he did say some of these shows, some of these projects will be R-rated, some of them will be PG-13. I think that some of the R-rated will come from TV shows, and then the PG-13 will definitely be, the movies will be PG-13. Can't. That's probably coming up from above and saying, look, I need money. We can't make a lot of money on R-rated. We need family.
You can't make money on R-rated. No.
Okay, I just want to point this out. I don't believe that, but I'm telling you what people above him believe. Whether the evidence says differently, they're going to say Marvel PG-13 movies make more than Deadpool TV movies. That's
no, the movie industry tells you.
No, they don't care about. Listen, you're not listening. Okay.
They care about money.
They do, and they believe that PG-13 movies make more money. And all if you go look at all the top movies of all time, then none of them are R-rated. Not a single one. So they do have some evidence to that. So the movies that make the most money are PG-13. You can do your R-rated shows, or I mean, you do your R-rating on the TV shows, because Game of Thrones is like R-rated. Everybody watches it. Everybody loves it.
It's past R-rated.
Yes, that's TV mature. But either way,
that joint's past R-rated, buddy. I
it's
don't know
TV mature.
Whatever there is between NC-17 and R-rated. If there was something in between there, that would be Game of Thrones.
Now, actually, you know, there's a rating past it. It's called rated X, but everybody just associates that with porn. But that is an actual rating.
Then they're it.
That is actual rating. But nobody goes that far because they automatically get associated with porn. So, as there's
that'd be bad.
Yeah. My man, and Roland said, "What's up?" And I say, "What's up, my man?" Join in the comments, man. Let us know what you think about the project so far. Well, not so far. The only projects that James Gunn announced. That's what we're talking about right now. MLB 85, which is why eyes are going to be on Deadpool 3 next year. That is true. If Deadpool 3 does make, I don't know, let's say, I don't know, let's throw out a number. Let's say it makes Captain America Civil War kind of money. They may check. Or let's say it makes Spider-Man No Way Home money. Because you're gonna have Wolverine with Deadpool. Hypothetically, let's say it makes that money. Then things will start to change. But their evidence will still be that all of the top rated movies are all PG-13.
Yeah. There's no R-rated $1 billion movie.
Joker.
That made $1 billion?
Yes.
What?
Let me tell you.
Excuse me. Okay.
So what to tell you, bro? It made $1 billion.
Oh, it did. Yeah.
You were pissed about it. I remember.
I was probably was.
You were pissed about it.
I don't know how everybody liked that movie so much.
What do you think we're going to see with you? You think I'm sorry, you're making me laugh. I can't read. You think we're going to see some nudity in the Wonder Woman prequel about the Amazons? Like we said before, you said Game of Thrones.
He said it's on HBO Max.
You said Game of Thrones.
There's no limits. There's no limits of what you could do on HBO Max. And especially if you've seen Doom Patrol, what? Come on. Between Doom Patrol and even Titans. Yeah, right. They're going for it.
Yeah, he will. You probably will. Question is how much and how long. Will it be like Cinemax where it's like, oh my gosh, turn the TV down?
No.
Or it just be like kind of Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was like they gave you like 6 thrusts and like, oh, they got to cut it just to let you know it's actually happening.
It was just there just to be there. No need for that. I tell you, the rest of the stuff. I'm curious about. Like, see, now he did a good job because now I got to go back and reread all these comics now and everything. So he did a good job when he did that. I like the whole presentation. I am curious why it's going to be called Gods and Monsters. Like, that's a very specific title for your first chapter 1. I like it being called. I like he's putting them in chapters.
I like chapters, and I like the chapters have names, like titles. I like that. Not just the phase. Like, it's the same but different. So it's the same like Marvel. Like, these are part of our first phases. These are the groups in it. But it's different because now the chapters and these chapters have a title. And now from that title, you can try to put together what you think it's leading to. Like Gods and Monsters, for instance. Are you talking about the new gods? Or are you talking about how people perceive the heroes now? Like, are you talking about do people perceive heroes as some as gods, some as monsters? I was like splitting it down the middle. Like you go any other way with it. Like is Amanda Waller a monster for trying to control these godlike figures and it's off the rails and it's putting people in danger? Like you see what I'm saying? It lets you think and lets you ponder what's really going on. I love it, man. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, you got to have that. You got to have that and everything. And then Booster Gold, I am curious about like Booster Gold. It's funny because the other day I did ask for it and I did mention them and stuff, but it's gonna be interesting to see Booster Gold with his own show and everything, what he goes through. And the good thing about Booster Gold is the guest appearances and what can the story, and then now I got to go back and figure out which storyline they're going to use for Booster Gold, or if they're going to do their own thing and stuff. It's so many options with that. So,
but see, the thing about Booster Gold is, since he's not that known of a character, you can switch up some things. You can switch up a lot of things. All the things.
You can do anything you want, pretty much.
Because you're not going to upset some large number of families. Like if you put a gun in Batman's hand, you're going to upset the entire country. But you can do stuff like that with Booster Gold because nobody knows him. And I would say this, in the Green Lantern, he said we're going to see other Green Lanterns sprinkled in. I want to know who those Lanterns are. Is it going to be Kilowog? Or is it going to be my what's the Jessica, the new one, Jessica that took at the
Cruz?
Yes, thank you, Jessica Cruz. Or the other dude that was supposed to be with Jessica Cruz, who I haven't seen since like the first year. He was like
Simon Baz.
Simon Baz. They're like, hey, is he still in the comics?
They're all still out there.
I know, but have you actually seen him in the comics recently?
I don't mess with Green Lantern. I don't read Green Lantern like that.
I was reading
Green Lantern's another one that has more than one comic or no. Well, Green Lantern
had some. You had the Green Lanterns, you had the Red Lanterns. Some of them had like the Yellow Lanterns. They all had their own run. You had Hal Jordan's Green Lantern. You had Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz Green Lantern. You had John Stewart. They all had different comics at the same time.
I remember not reading Green Lantern at all right now. I don't know of any Green Lantern comics right now because I've never been a big Green Lantern reader. So, like when I had my subscription to DC
Universe,
I read everything then. I need to get it back again. I'm probably going to re-get the DC Universe subscription again, just so I can reread all the old stuff, especially the old Stormwatch and the Authority stuff on there and everything, and get updated on stuff. So, yeah, you guys DC's about to get my money again. So, here we go.
I mean, they already had your money. They already had it. You knew it. Look at your shirt. They got your money. The Authority, and Mom said the Authority was the boys before the boys was even a thing. You know what? I'm going to have to take your word for it. I really don't know, but I can see him being that way. I really can. Plus, I didn't know the boys was the boys until the show came out, and I'm going to got every goddamn volume they ever had and read it. I'm not ashamed to admit.
I'm pretty sure they're hoping to do that with Booster Gold.
I'll tell you right now, it'll be a lot cheaper to buy Booster Gold than it was the boys. Be a lot cheaper.
I sure hope people don't go out and do like when Deadpool's first movie came out, and then after the movie came out, everybody went and was buying the first edition Deadpool's and made the price rise and everything.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Terrible.
Terrible. You only do that if the movie is good and everybody and the junk just pops off. If the movie tries, like for instance, people were trying to buy the Eternals, and then when
I was just going to say that. Oh my goodness! I was just
came out. He's like, man, we don't want this.
that joy. They wrote, man. You want to talk about raising prices? Oh my goodness! As soon as they announced the Eternals movie, every comic book store just all of a sudden got all their comic books got certified, and they all got, and all of a sudden the price went up on them. And then as soon as you walk in the store, all these dang on different versions of Eternals, the different ones that's up in the front of the comic book store. I said, man, what the hell? Ain't nobody in a life read Eternals, but y'all got all the different stories up here and everything. And then, everybody in the comic book store is all of a sudden Eternals experts. It's like, when the hell did y'all read all these Eternals comics, yo? Ain't nobody ever read Eternals. I'd be danged if them comic book store people didn't know everything there was to know about Eternals.
I know they did. When I walked in that joint, they're like, "Oh yeah, this is the first issue. This is when Icarus." I'm like, "Really? I've been here I'm here every freaking week. Never heard you bring up anything to me about the turtle. Pull me to the new Ninja Turtle comic book. You know why I'm here, goddammit. Fucking Turtles. I bought one though.
I know you did. Everybody did. Everybody got suckered into it, yo.
I make sure I got the Ninja Turtles first.
They're probably gonna run another edition and run another print on everything he mentioned. Every comic that James Gunn mentioned, DC is probably already running another print to reprint them all back out again.
Man,
Raven the Bold's going to sell out. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow is going to sell out. It's going to be awesome.
Already got it. I'm good. I'm good on that one. Woo! Do you know how much that the first issue of not the first issue, the first appearance of Black Panther in that Fantastic Four, how much the price rose after everybody saw him in Civil War, and then when his movie came out, you talking about skyrocketed? Oh my gosh! I was like, I'm like, if I ever go broke, I can make it out of it. Like I can make it out because I got you. I can make it out. Yeah. Oh, it's the same thing. You're right. When they introduced Namor, everybody was like, "Oh shit, hey, Namor, he's the first mutant." I was like, well, I knew that already. I knew that. I don't care. He's an asshole. I get it. He's great. I don't care. I don't.
I feel bad for them using Namor, and then they trashed it online about how they changed the story and his background and everything because they didn't want to follow the same suit as DC. What they did with Aquaman, folks hated it. I was like, they kind of sort of had to do it. They couldn't redo the same story and say Atlantis. They couldn't say Atlantis. They could, under no circumstances.
The problem is Marvel has always beat DC in the movies to it, and it's the first time they got beat to it, and they didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do.
They had to revamp the whole thing and everything. So I'm
talking about the fans. The fans didn't know how to react because they never had DC beat them to something good before. Like every time Marvel has always beat DC to it. Like how Marvel did it first. Like so, like this time you lost, and now you don't know how to react. You're like a little kid who plays the game. I'm tired of losing. I'm sick of losing. You gotta learn how to lose, baby. You gotta take that out.
I don't think Marvel took them serious that they were actually going to use Aquaman for real. And then when they used him and gave him his own movie, Aquaman, and it was successful. Then Marvel was just stunned. Like me personally, I would have saved Aquaman for the Fantastic Four personally, but the fact that they used him
Namor.
I said, oh my God, they say, Namor. I would have used Namor for Fantastic Four. I would have saved him for Fantastic Four personally, but since they wanted to use him for Black Panther, more power to them. But no matter what, they were going to have to change the story.
Namor did in the comics. He did have beef with Black Panther, so it kind of makes sense.
Oh no, it made perfect sense and everything. I read that comic when it came out. I remember all those comics, but it's just tough how they had to change everything around and everything.
All right, we're almost out of time, but we'll get a couple more comments in if we get. And Marvel said he just wait till they bring the X-Men into the MCU after Secret Wars. I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm not a fan of the X-Men. Never really have been. Never really will be. I will say Jonathan Hickman run on X-Men that just ended like a couple years ago. I was all in. But anything before and after that, I don't really care about the X-Men. I really don't. There's too many of them. It's
a race of people.
I stand by what I said. There's too many of them. It's too convoluted. You got to read X-Men Gold, X-Men Blue, X-Men Red.
No, you don't.
Look, just let me get through this, okay? You got to read all of this other stuff. I don't like the X-Men. God dies, come back, and it's like I just don't care.
All comics.
I don't care. I do not care about the X-Men. I just don't care. I just don't care. And I know they're great. I know they're great. I don't care about the. I can go my whole life without seeing the X Men on the big screen again. Don't care about
Yeah,
it.
I'm curious about how they're going to introduce the X-Men into the MCU and everything. Me personally, I would have loved if Marvel wasn't already as one. It would have been great to do if Marvel took them over and did an Elseworld thing. Like if Marvel comes out and does like a whole separate universe where they don't have to incorporate X-Men into the main MCU, that would be great for me. But since MCU's already established as one, they got to do it. So I'm curious to see how they do it. It's going to be it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird.
And I would like to say, all right, so I was going to bring that. I saw the comment earlier, so I want to bring it up. So I said the X Men are better than humans. They're better than the X Men are better than the known Inhumans, like the royal family. But there are Inhumans that are way better than the X Men. I'm ready. Moon Girl. I love Moon Girl, and I can't wait for her new show, her animated show. Me and my daughter gonna watch that together. Uh, Miss Marvel, who they took and made a mutant in her in the MCU, and I almost threw a shoe at the TV. I literally almost threw a shoe at the TV. She's a goddamn Inhuman. She's like one of the only greats they have. You're just gonna do her like that? You just go, woo. All right. So anyway,
Yeah, like I said, it's going to be a little tricky. It's going to be tricky to see how they incorporate X
if they
Men into
had
the
the
universe.
audacity to bring the Inhumans in the multiverse of madness, you know what? It's okay. So all right. There are Inhumans that are better than the X Men. Moon Girl Dinosaur is one for me. It is what it is. I like a lot. I like a lot of the Inhumans. Better do I like the X Men? Okay, I just really do. I really do. All right, so he said it's going to be Wolverine. Just say he is connected to Captain America and Black Widow with the Super Soldier formula. I mean,
Nope.
yeah. Well, I know what he's talking about. So, like in the comics, they refitted so Captain America was actually he was Weapon One. They made Captain America to fight off the human invasion. They wanted to test it in the field, but everything happened. He became Captain America. Same thing with like the Black Widow. I can see it, but I don't think they're going that direction.
No.
No, I don't think because then they got to go revise, bring back Kendrick. They got to go back and revise it. I don't think they're gonna do that. I just honestly think what they should do and what they and I said if you're gonna bring in the X Men, just already have them. Oh God damn it, not Kenosha. What's the one they on now?
Krakoa?
Krakoa. Just have them already on Krakoa. You don't have to. I'm at to the point where everybody don't have to have an origin story. I don't need to see you from the beginning. You could just hop in mid form and then tell me what happened before. You got flashbacks, you got dialogue, all that other stuff. You can have them on Krakoa Mac. You have the Quiet Council and everything leading the X-Men, and as more mutants as more mutants start popping up, then you have like Xavier and Magneto, and let's say Cyclops and Storm come in and take them, and then you start a whole war. Like, who are you guys? What's Krakoa? And then have the same way like in Wakanda Forever, where like people like the United Nations coming out Wakanda like you promised us all this stuff, and then now you got like America, Russia, French, and all of France. I can't even say it. And all them going after Krakoa like y'all got stuff to help us, and we want it, and y'all got medicine and stuff that can help, and we want it, and we're going to come into your country and get it. And the mutants are like, nah, and it starts a whole war. It's already set up. You don't have to do it from the beginning. But that's just me. It is what it is. Yeah, so hey, it is what it is. And all right, so we got one more comment. Man, this is my guy. He with us from the very beginning. Then we gotta get up out of here. He said he just wants to see Rogue put Captain Marvel in the coma. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. That happens. People want to see it. Are you gonna give it to him or not? Would you do it, Dad?
I am here for if it happens, it happens. It probably it wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah, I don't really care. Again, I don't care about the X Men. No.
But what you should care about,
I never cared about Captain Marvel either.
what you should care about is this new DCU slate that is part of the 8 to 10 year plan, and the first 10 projects that are coming out starting in 2025. Is it starting in 2025 or the first Superman movies in 2025?
Yeah, the movie's 2025. I think the anime.
Yeah, the rest of the projects are 2024 then. Like I think Waller's probably going to be out.
It's going to be happening after that Aquaman, the Aquaman show, the last Aquaman movie.
Yeah, which is in December. So I think they're going to do like, because he already finished writing the script. He said he already finished Creature Commandos. So
yeah, so that might
that'll probably come out 2024.
Yeah, that might come in 2024. Waller might. He said he already wrote all the episodes of Waller. I think.
Yeah.
So that come out in 2024.
And he's currently writing the script for Superman.
That's 2025. But all that stuff could get pushed back though.
So the HBO, I figure anything that has anything to do with HBO should be out in 2024.
Well, no, the first two, because you can't do all the shows at once.
Why not?
Because you got to spread this out over time. This is
12 months of the year. Let's go.
This is like the first 5 years, so you can't put them all.
No. This is the first 2 years for me. Let's go. Everything in the first 2 years. Let's go.
I don't even know what to say to that. Absurdity. It's absurdity.
You gotta start establishing stuff. I need Lantern, Creature Commando, and Waller. I need those. Superman is automatic. We're gonna get that no matter what. Batman.
You don't have to.
Batman's automatic. We're gonna get that no matter what. But for right now,
thank you, and thank you, my man. That's what got DC in trouble the first time, trying to rush it all out. Thank you.
Because of fans like me, you're right. Get it.
Just sit back and enjoy the show. That's all you got to do.
Fine. Give me dates then. I want dates by San Diego Comic-Con. These things better have dates to them.
That's fine.
He got till July.
That's a fair thing. But don't say, you want all this stuff in 2 years. That's absurdity. Come on, man. Absurd. Be reasonable.
You know what? You're right. Don't rush greatness. You're right. They got 5 years.
It's the 5 years. Anyway, look, man, we got to get up out of here, man. That's about all that time. We've been having like an hour and 20 minutes, 22 minutes, 23 minutes, close to it like that. So look, man, we had a great time with everybody here that came through the chat. We want to make sure we get thank you all for all your love and support. Till next time, man, we out. Dan, you got anything before we go?
Yeah, go out there, support your local comic book store and everything. Read all the stuff that DC is about to do in the future and everything. He lets you know what shows and what comics and what authors and everything. Go out there and read them things. Get excited like some of us get excited. Ant's already got daggone the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, so he already knows how good that story is and everything like that.
Yeah, you can't
get up to date on The Authority. Stormwatch is another title for them. And Swamp Thing, also Creature Commandos, which they've already had a previous project out and everything. Go back and do your research. Hey, go back and watch Peacemaker again and see how that is and stuff. Other than that, hey guys, you got plenty of things to look forward to. I can't wait. Y'all can't wait. We all can't wait to see what DC's got going on. And 2023's got about 4 movies coming out from DC anyway. So this year is going to be solid.
It's 2023 now, right?
Yeah, DC's got 4 projects coming out on film. Then they're finishing off Doom Patrol, Titans, Superman and Lois, Flash is ending.
Let's start.
Let's got a lot.
Yeah. Enjoy while it's here, people. All right, that's all our time, man. I want to thank everybody for coming on.